Angie, don't forget the clocks go back at the weekend. That's what you've got to start slipping into conversation now. That's the small talk, isn't it?
I've already said it.
Yeah, that is the small talk at the moment. Yeah.
I said it on a call this morning with one of my bosses. I said, "Oh yeah, Laura, don't forget the clocks go forward this weekend." She went, "Oh yes, they do.
No, they go back
or forward." I always get confused with that.
Well,
shit.
there's a little rhyme you can remember. We don't call it fall here, but it's spring forward, fall back.
Spring forward, fall back.
So in the spring they go forward. So you spring forward, and you fall back.
Which for us would be spring forward, autumn back, which then
yeah,
doesn't
but
really
obviously
work so well, does it?
I know it does because we all know what fall is.
I know, but
It's
I
a
just
good way
don't
to
like
remember.
saying fall. I just feel like a prick.
Well, just remember spring forward then. You could just do the spring forward.
Spring forward.
Yeah, because then you would know that at this time of year they go back.
It's autumn back.
Yeah, that's the small talk, isn't it, at the moment? Don't forget.
It is a massive thing, though.
Everyone gets fucking obsessed with it, don't they?
I hate it, though. I do hate it.
Me too.
You know, just that whole, like, it's getting dark at 4 and all that.
It'll be pitch black next time we record.
Yeah, you see, that's actually so depressing, isn't it?
Yeah. When we record next week, it's going to be pitch black.
And also, it's like, and this is what I was saying to my boss, Laura, this morning. I was saying, I don't mind it from now until Christmas. Yeah? I mean, I don't love it, but I don't mind it. Right. Okay? Because it's like cozy festive season. We've got autumnal vibes. We've got a lot of things going on. We've got lots to look forward to. Brilliant. January is utter dog shit.
I actually hate February more than I hate January.
Why? Why?
I feel like January, you go into January, you know, how was your Christmas? Excellent. You know, you talk about New Year's resolutions, yada, yada, yada. February, it's like, what the fuck? What's going on? What happens in February? March, it's like, middle of March, like, is spring coming? It's on its way. Stuff's starting to change and turn. February is like the Tuesday of the year.
No,
because Tuesday is a shit day of the week.
I disagree with you, Patty. I absolutely disagree with you.
Yeah.
For me, January is long, like it's 5 fucking weeks. You're skint. Yeah. It's dark.
Yeah.
The weather's generally absolute shite.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it just drags on and on. When I get into Feb, I'm like, oh, okay, right. February, short month. Right. We'll get this over and done with. Then we're into March. Then we're into spring. Bob is your uncle. Fanny is your aunt. So I actually don't agree with you on that front, Pats.
Okay, mate. We can agree to disagree. That's fine.
We shall. And you've actually made quite an effort today, Pats. Have you been?
It's because I've been in the office.
Right. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I thought, wow, Pats,
you can't go into the office looking like a thumb, can you?
Well, I mean, I think previous Patty might have done that.
Oh no, never into the office looking like a thumb. No. No, never.
Really?
Oh my! I've never been into the office looking like bedraggled. No, never. I always do my hair, always put makeup on, try and wear something relatively smart cash.
Yeah. I mean, you look very smart today. You look like you should be, I don't know, working somewhere very smart and fancy and civilized.
Well, thank you. It's a very nice outfit, isn't it?
If you're watching us on the YouTube.
If you're on the YouTube, I've had a lot of questions on the gram today about this outfit. Where's the shirt from? Where's the tank top from? Where are the jeans from?
I couldn't remember what they were called. A tank top. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking very suave and
sophisticated.
Thank you. Yes. I mean,
this shirt
looking like a thumb.
This shirt is from Next, and I can't believe I've got into a Next shirt.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And it's not, Next do curve stuff, but this is a size 20.
And what about your tank top Next as well?
No, the tank top is M&S.
Right. Okay. Nice. Yeah, you've done a mix up there. Nice with the coords.
Done a mix up. Yeah. Anyway, how are you?
I'm okay, Pats. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt a bit like I was coming down with something earlier, but
actually,
I keep
feeling like that.
Now.
It's really pissing me off.
Yeah.
I keep feeling like I'm going to get a cold.
Yeah, same. So I'm just eating shit tons of Zatzumas. But yeah, not too bad otherwise, Pats. Yeah, not too bad. Nothing major happening. Nothing major at the weekend. Was quite nice. Do you know what happened to me at the weekend twice?
What?
Now, this is actually quite a massive...
This is big news. This is big news.
I mean, it's not. I'm bigging it up now, but I think
but
it is quite
we
big.
have a segment that is big news, but not big news, don't we? This is like your big news was you swapped from Marmite to marmalade. I mean, that's not big news either. So this
big
will be big news.
It's not big news.
Yeah, this is big news.
Okay, so the big news that's not big news is that I napped on Saturday.
No, this is big news. This is massive news.
Is it?
What?
I actually full on napped.
Are you sure you're not coming down with something?
Well, that was my other indicator. I thought, hang on a minute, Angie doesn't nap of a usual regular occurrence.
How's your shoulder?
Still a little bit.
Do you think the two are related?
I don't know, Pats. I think it's just aging.
I think you need to go to the doctors about your shoulder.
Both of them now are a little bit dodge. Bit like,
I think you need to go to the doctors about your shoulder.
Well, do you know what? One of our listeners, she sent me a message saying that, I mean, every fucking ailment that you get when you get to this age, and Patty, you are approaching the age, is to do with jeffing menopause and perimenopause and being in it and out of it.
Yeah, but you're on HRT, so you should be okay.
Well, it doesn't negate everything.
I think you need to go to the doctors.
Well, anyway, I napped. I napped on Saturday and on Sunday. I haven't napped today. I've actually been quite full of beans today, apart from feeling a little bit like I've got a bit of a sore throat, scratchy throat, cough coming thing. But otherwise...
Sorry, I've just yawned in your face. That is so rude. I've literally just yawned right in your face.
You was obviously getting very bored of the big news. It's not big news.
No, I'm actually thinking about, napping.
Having a nap.
Little nana nap. That is... Yeah.
Honestly, I just thought, I'll just lie down, just shut my eyes, thinking I probably won't go to sleep. Bang, gone.
How long did you nap for?
About half an hour both times.
Well, I think you should just go to the doctors and talk to them because the pains in your shoulder and you napping, I think you need to get this checked out. Your iron might be low.
It might be my thyroid.
Please go to the doctors, yeah. And listeners, can you message Ange incessantly on Instagram and just say, have you booked a doctor's appointment? Because she's shit at stuff like that. I think you should just have, just everything. It could be calcium. It could, that happens, like bone stuff. That could be your shoulder, and that could be making you tired. It could be iron. Just it could be vitamin D. Just get yourself to the doctors, and
I will. I'll go. I will, because I do need to get my thyroid checked. I haven't had that checked in a while, so I need to do all that shit.
This stuff with the pain in your shoulder. That's been going on over a week now.
Oh, well, it's much better than it was. It's just there a little bit.
It's still a bit niggly. So
it's a niggly shoulder I've got going on.
You've got a niggly shoulder.
Anywho, there's my big news. It's not big news. I think before we crack on to sort of some more funny shit, we should probably just talk about the Liam Payne tragedy that happened last week. Yeah. Because I just feel like it's something that's just really rocked me. Me. Yeah. And I just feel like everyone has probably kind of felt that a bit this week, and it's that whole thing of, a bit like when Caroline Flack died, although this feels kind of different, but I think it's that whole thing of you don't know him. I didn't know him. I'd never met him.
You had met him. But
had I?
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, I don't remember any of that.
You don't know him, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know him, and I just feel like I don't know. There's this weird kind of feeling when these things happen, because you feel sad and. I was actually obviously sad and completely shocked when it I remember Joel, I was up with Joel and Nilla, and Joel just went, oh my gosh. I was like, what? It was Liam Payne's died. I was like, oh my gosh. And then obviously it all kind of is everywhere and the press are on it. But I just remember feeling so sad that he obviously was in such a terrible, dark place that you know, whether it was intentional that he kind of wanted to kill himself or it was an accident and he fell, and, you know, obviously all the stuff that's come out about his drug and drink problems, and then all the kind of recent stuff which I wasn't actually aware of, that there'd been so much recently on social media where lots of people were kind of and
getting worried about him.
But then I was like, I just felt so angry because I'm like who was looking out for him? And I know that, like, sometimes there might have been lots of people that were trying to help him and he just didn't want the help, or, you know, and you can't, if somebody wants to, you know, either kill themselves or is that hung up on kind of just being absolutely out of it all the time, that, you know, lots of people might have been trying to help him and he just didn't want to take it. But I don't know, I really felt this like emotion of sadness and anger for him. And yeah, I always feel like, and I don't know what you feel about this, Pat, but I almost feel like because of our relationship with our brother, who is in the public eye, who everybody knows, and I don't know, I always feel like when these things happen, I feel like it really hits me like a ton of bricks. Like I ended up, I'm sure you were the same, like messaging James last week because I was just like, I just wanted to make sure he was okay. You know, he obviously did know him and knows all of the band members very well and has done, you know, stuff with them. And so for him, like, wanted to check he was okay because of the news that had come out and that, you know, the shock that I'm sure he felt, but also just to make sure he was okay. Do you know what I mean?
There was a couple of things. There was a couple of. I definitely think that's a big part of it, and I think, you know, some of the things for me was like, God, he was only 31 and he's been so well known. You'd have thought he was like 50.
Yeah.
Like, he's been a household name for so many years that to actually remember he was only 31. And I look back to, you know, James sort of became much more well known when he was around 19, and then in his early to mid 20s he had a real rock, and it was really worrying for us. You know, we had paparazzi phoning us and turning up at our houses, and James was stumbling out of nightclubs and you didn't really know who he was hanging out with or what he was doing. And, you know, I think all of us at that time as his family were really, really worried about him. He was on a trajectory that didn't feel particularly safe for him. And so I think whenever stuff like this comes up or comes out, I think about that time with James. And I think, and it was Robbie Williams that said, you know, when Heath Ledger died, he thought, oh my God, I'm next. And either by the grace of God or dumb luck, I'm still here. And I suppose there is a sense of, James never had the demons like Robbie Williams did, but I suppose there is a sense of he was on a trajectory in his mid-20s that wasn't particularly great for him, and he, you know, we couldn't really get to him, and he was sort of a bit lost, and he'd been propelled into this being very well known and didn't know how to manage it, and was on like a treadmill of, like, you know, being out all the time, and that felt like a pretty difficult time. But there was a couple of things for me. Firstly, I thought what Cheryl Cole said was absolutely fantastic. Her statement, I think, is the best statement I've read so far. The fact that she said, I want to remind you, we've lost a human being who is a son, a brother, an uncle, a dad. And that, you know, she was sort of saying that navigating this for Bear, and he's going to have access, you know, the pictures of his inside his hotel room. Fucking hell, we don't need to see that. We don't need to see the turmoil that this lad was in before he died. Like, and Bear absolutely in his future doesn't need to be able to search the internet and see that, you know, foil from what could have been a drug wrapper and a smashed TV. And, you know, his parents looking at those pictures thinking, what was he feeling before he died? Like, heartbreaking for those that loved him to see and have to experience all of that. And then the second thing for me, which I don't know how long it's going to take us to realise, the list of child stars, you know, Michael Jackson, Macaulay Culkin, Drew Barrymore, he's just another name in a, like, when are we going to stop making 15, 16, 17-year-olds so famous they don't know what to do with themselves? Simon Cowell came out and gave a statement, and I was actually really quite angered by that, because where is the safeguarding in the music industry to look after these lads, these young women, these young girls, these people that chase something that is so unbearably difficult to manage? And for me, you know that safeguarding doesn't exist in the music industry when you watch the very last concert that Amy Winehouse did, because whoever pushed her on that stage in that state to make money off of her, because they didn't want to pay out the insurance to count, they didn't want to pay the band and the people that had bought tickets. She could barely stand. Now look, she was an adult, I get that, but she was a vulnerable adult, and nobody was safeguarding her. Nobody was saying, no, Amy, you're not going on stage in that state. The last memory of you performing isn't going to be you slurring your words and unable to hold your microphone. It's like, Simon Cowell, you rubbed your hands and made your money from those boys. And where were you to look after them? Making 15-year-olds famous does not work. And we have got a list of names that tells us that it doesn't work. And it's got to stop. There's got to be something that is like... I remember listening to an interview with Liam Payne, and he said, we got to the stage where we were so famous, we couldn't go out and do anything. So we got locked in our hotel rooms. What's in a hotel room? A minibar. So what do you do? What do you do? You open the... you don't have to think about money. You don't have to worry about the checkout bill. You can order whatever you want to your room. You crack open the champagne. Before you know it, alcohol's not enough. You feel desperately lonely. You know, adolescence is, other than 0 to 5, is the biggest brain change in our life. It is the biggest neurodevelopment in our life. And when you're 15 and you've got millions of pounds accessible to you and you can't go to sleep because the noise outside your hotel room is so loud, that messes you up. It absolutely messes you up. And so for me, I felt desperately sad that his parents and his family have had to watch the outworking of the chaos and sadness and loneliness that he would have felt before he died. I can't imagine being his mum and looking at the state of that hotel room. I just cannot imagine what that must feel like for her. And to think my child was in so much pain and I couldn't get to him. Like, it just must be awful. And then this real anger that actually... we're not looking after our young people in the way that we should be. And who was looking after Liam when he was 17 and was propelled into the spotlight? And so I just have felt like enough is enough, really. And I suppose I've started thinking about what do you do to make sure that there's those people looking after those kids in that industry? Like, you know, the list is endless, isn't it?
I think also just like remembering that these people that you see in bands, in TV, in films, on this kind of platform, they are still human beings.
Exactly.
And they will feel all the things that everyone else feels. It's just on a heightened scale, on a massive platform. And I think, just remembering that, you know, it might look like they have, you know, everything and they've got this perfect life, but actually quite often behind the scenes there's a lot of stuff going on that you just don't know about. And so just thought it was good to...
it was important to mention
to kind of mark it. Totally. I've got some massive drugs.
Let's go tit heavy.
Let's go tit heavy. Okay, now a lot of people might already kind of know what is on my tits because it was on my tits last week.
We know.
Sort of share a bit,
we know.
But I thought
we know what is coming.
Okay, so the thing that is getting on my shitting tits is cauliflower.
Yeah.
And predominantly cauliflowers trying to be something that they're not.
Masquerading.
A masquerading cauliflower is what I've got a problem with. And this came about because last week when I was in my way to Roas, I just happened to walk past the freezer and then I saw cauliflower hash browns. Collie hash browns. And I literally was like, what the fuck is going on? Why are we jeffing around with cauliflower, making them into hash browns? Then the next I saw cauliflower rice. And then you get the whole cauliflower steak. All of the shit, it's a cauliflower. Just cook it, chuck shit tons of cheese on it, put it in the oven and eat it. Cauliflower cheese is elite. A collie hash brown, a collie steak, collie rice.
Collie rice is disgusting.
Yes.
It is absolutely woeful.
It smells of farts. It tastes of farts. It might as well be a fart.
Disgusting. Also, right, I am in my fit girl era. There's no doubt about it, right?
As we know.
I am in my fit girl era. But there is a line for me. Like, I follow this woman called Broccoli Mum. She's amazing. Don't get me wrong, she's amazing. But like, all of her recipes are like a take. Like, she made healthy Magnum ice cream. Just eat the fucking Magnum.
Yes.
Like, stop dicking around with blending cauliflowers, chickpeas, tofu, putting peanut butter powder in it, putting cacao in it, blitzing it up, tipping it into a mold, taking it out, getting the fairest, most beautiful, darkest, richest dark chocolate, putting it back. Just buy a Magnum.
And
because
enjoy
I'm
it.
gonna say there's the same amount of calories in a regular Magnum to that shit you've just put together. Also, she takes a bite of it and she's always like, that's amazing. I don't reckon it would be.
Of course it's
chickpeas, tofu, cauliflower, salt, peanut butter powder, and cacao. No thanks.
No.
I'm all right.
And she's blatantly lying to you. Broccoli Mum is lying to you.
Broccoli Mum needs to get a life.
I mean, it's concerning that she's called herself Broccoli Mum. If I'm perfectly honest with you, it is concerning that. Broccoli Mum.
Imagine if it came out that her kid was actually called Broccoli. I mean, it wouldn't surprise
That's
me.
That's even more concerning if she's actually named her child Broccoli.
The amount of like health shit that she did make a really good one the other day that I do want to try. She sliced up some banana. She put it out on a like parchment sheet, put that in the freezer.
Yeah.
Bought it out, put peanut butter over the top, and then put dark chocolate over the top of that and refroze it. I mean, I bet that I can get on board with. That's fine.
Like you, Pats, I'm all on. If you can give me a healthier option of something that actually, on the whole, is going to taste
all right,
good. It's better for me. There's less shit in it. Brilliant. But as far as the cauliflower goes, I mean, not only does it. I mean, I love a cauliflower cheese, but it really does give me wind.
Does it?
Oh my gosh, big time wind.
Does it? You get big farts. Do they stink?
Massive. And that's the thing. It's like, I love it with cheese on, and I'll actually eat it because I love that and I love the cheese. But if somebody offered me a collie hash brown or said I've cooked up a nice chili here and I've done it with the collie rice, I would actually want to smack them in the face because I don't want to eat
Let's not
rice.
choose violence. Let's not wake up and choose violence.
It would make me that mad. I'd be like, no,
choose violence.
Sandra, just give me a good bit of white rice or a brown rice. Brown rice, that's healthy for
brown
you.
Rice.
I'll have a brown rice.
I actually think a collie hash brown. I think a collie hash brown would be all right.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure it would be all right, but
I think it would be quite nice.
I'm just tired. I'm tired.
You're tired.
Of
she's
the
tired.
jetting around.
That's why she had a nap. She's tired of this shit. She had to. She's had 2 naps back to back because of cauliflower everywhere.
Yes.
I hope cauliflower's proud of itself.
Yeah.
I actually love cauliflower, as in I don't necessarily just have to have cheese on it.
No, see, I'm not a fan. No, if you.
Mum told me that I was obsessed with cauliflower as a little girl. Yeah. I used to want it all the time, apparently.
She could have been the cauliflower mum. There's still time, Mark.
Let's get mum set up on an Instagram, Cauliflower Mum.
Cauliflower Mum, and she can just come up with loads of cauliflower recipes.
Yeah.
I mean, Mum does dick around with bones and shit, doesn't she?
Oh, we've talked about this before.
Yeah, making bloody broths and pies and
so she got annoyed with me that I made a Victoria sponge and it went wrong and I threw it away. She told me I should have frozen it. Like, for what purpose? I don't know. My freezer's already rammed with other shit that I don't eat. I'm not going to put a fucked up Victoria sponge in there.
Do you know what gets on my tits as well?
What?
All these people on the socials, mainly people that are doing house shit, you know,
yeah,
just just being really like super organised in their fridge and freezer.
Oh, I quite like that.
No,
not in the freezer. My freezer's like a free for all. It's a freezer for all. I don't know what. So I froze some bananas once to make a banana cake. They came from our old house to this one. They're in this freezer. I mean, I just need to throw them away.
Just give them to Margs. Give it to the Cauliflower Mum. She'll make something with them.
She'll make something.
Yeah. She'll make you a banana pie or something and chuck some bones and broth in it and a bit of cauliflower, and you'll have a whale of a time.
Great to go.
Yeah.
But my freezer is, I mean, I don't know what the hell we've got in there. We've got stuff. I've got a chicken that, because our Auntie Marilyn, when she goes to Costco, she buys one of the cooked chickens and puts it in the freezer and then takes it out and defrosts it, and then you can eat it. You can have it as a cold chicken. I think we've got 2 in our freezer of those from months back.
What, that Mazza gave you?
No, that Mum and Dad got at Costco. I was like, I'm going to do what Mazza does. Never done it. I think it's because I feel a bit worried about it. I think it's going to give me food poisoning. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I just feel like your freezer should really just be for ice creams.
And frozen fruit for your smoothies.
Yes, exactly.
That's basically it. Bit of bread in there maybe. But my fridge, we've got a shit fridge, you see. It's tiny, so we do have to keep on top of it because it's not big. And if we don't have it organised, it is like a shit show in there.
No, I know. I like an organisation, but it's just when they're just like, putting boxes of things, they
lazy
get a box of their cans.
You've got a lazy Susan at the top for your condiments.
It's all that.
I quite like that.
I know, but sometimes I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's this pressure to have everything together all the time, isn't there? Like your fridge, your freezer, your wardrobe, your drawers, your just all of it has
your exercise regime, your food. Like, it's just one thing after the other, isn't it? It's like you've got to eat a good diet. You've got to have an organised fridge freezer. You've got to have good candles around your house. You've got to wear nice clothes.
That's it.
You've got to do a hair mask at least 3 times a week. It's like, oh God, okay, the maintenance of this is. Whereas I am just like, I'll just like a thumb. I'll live in a shit tip. I'll have a disorganised fridge freezer, and I'll look like a thumb. That'll do me.
Things that shouldn't be embarrassing, but are. Things that shouldn't be embarrassing. Things that shouldn't be embarrassing, but are. What are your things? So, right, Pats, I've got to share this one because this came in live. It was a live sort of embarrassing moment that happened to somebody. And she felt it was important. So it's one of those, this is embarrassing, but it shouldn't be moments that happened live.
Yeah.
And this came in from Sarah B. Lang.
Sarah's my friend. Hi, Sarah.
Oh, is she? She your friend?
Yeah, she's a mate of mine. Hi, Sarah.
That. Yeah. Okay, well, this came in from Sarah B. Lang. Things that shouldn't be embarrassing, but are. Your jingle is echoing loudly in my head at the spa. I've got one for you. Walking into, and indeed back out of, an occupied sauna. Awful. You creep in, sit down. Wet cozzy makes a squelch sound as you sit in the silence. You're not sure how long you can stand the heat and stay, but you're last in, so can't be first to leave. Do you say hi? I've tried it. I suggest no, you don't. When you leave, you debate it, worry about a wedgie, know everyone's watching, and finally pull the push door frantically overheated to exit. Live real-time experience coming to you today. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that is so true. That is so sauna
true.
Thing. That squelch when you sit down. Oh my gosh, that is embarrassing.
That is embarrassing.
I've actually found a way of doing it now where you can avoid the squelch.
Oh.
Yeah, I should have.
What do you do?
Should have let Sarah know that earlier. But basically, you have to use your hands to sort of take the main force of your weight, and then sit down gently. You get less of a squelch. Still get a squelch
because you don't squelch in a sauna. You only squelch in a steam room.
Oh yeah, maybe she meant she put sauna.
She does say steam room /sauna.
well, whatever it was, it's. I think it does apply to saunas, but you obviously don't get the squelch in the sauna, like you say, Pats.
No,
that's like bloody
your wetness.
than...
But all the other stuff is the same in a sauna. Do you say hello? Do you talk? I went into a sauna once, and there was, they're like benches, aren't they? There was a guy just sprawled out on the top bench. I mean, to the point where I was like, is he breathing? I had to really watch his chest. I was like, oh no, he is. He's breathing.
Would you ever do like that? Like, because obviously the sort of the Danes and the Swedes and the Norwegians stuff, they love sort of all the naked saunas and shit, don't they?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not doing a naked sauna. No.
I don't know how I'd feel about walking into a naked sauna and just...
Well, I wouldn't even go to a nudist beach.
Really? Wouldn't you?
Would you?
I'd go, but not be nude. I'd go just to, have a look around.
But I think a lot of nudists are quite old.
Maybe we could sort of bring it
Maybe
up a
we
level.
could go to some...
Get the old tits and fuff out.
I mean, I won't be getting the tits and fuff out. You can if you want to be an exhibitionist for a couple of hours.
No, actually, I couldn't do that.
I wouldn't be. I would not be.
But I can't even quite like to go to one.
I can't even whap my kegs off in the change rooms after the gym. I do it with a towel around me because all of the... Yeah.
No, I'm big on the full out now.
Well, all of the older women that go to our gym,
they go full out, don't they?
I walked into the change rooms the other day. I was like, oh, bloody hell. Bloody hell, she is going for it. She didn't care. Yeah. She just stood there naked, putting her deodorant on.
Yeah.
And putting a bit of talc on. I was like...
I'm not that brazen. I'm sort of...
She was brazen. You mean brazen?
Brazen, not blazing.
I'm not that
blazing, squad. No, I'm not like... like we talked before about, women that drive their pubes with the hairdryer and stuff.
Oh,
I wouldn't be doing any of that shit. No, but I'm also not... No. I'm not dicking around with towels around me. I'm just like, right, I'm putting my pants on and you're going to see my bum, you might see some fuff. I'm putting my bra on, you're going to see my tits.
Before we finish, this has actually reminded me of something happened a couple of weeks ago at the gym, right? So I've got a specific gym towel. Obviously, when you're in a larger body, lots of towels don't go round you properly.
Yes.
They sort of stop. And I've got a particular gym towel that now does go round me.
Yeah.
So I tried to stick to that one, wash it a couple of times during the week. Anyway.
Make sure it's ready, fresh.
Make sure it's ready. Wasn't fresh and ready, so I had to take another one. And I thought, oh, this looks the same sort of size as the one I've got. I'll take this one. Fine. So I put it round me. Now it went round the top and there was a bit of a gap, but I thought, oh no, that's fine. Like, I was in the shower after I'd finished.
Yeah.
I was like, I've got it round the top part. There's a little bit of a gap, but nobody's going to see anything. Well, I come striding out, go round, stop at my locker, turn the corner to the mirror to brush my hair. My fuff is literally out. And I was like, oh.
It's not as big as I thought it was.
I don't know what to do now because there's other people in here. I can't twist it because my bum will be out. So I just crouched over, tried to pull the towel more round my thighs, crouched over and sprinted back to my locker. I was because I came out brazen out of the shower. I was like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm totally wrapped up. Turned the corner.
You can't see anything of me. No.
Turned the corner and whoa.
Growler.
Whoa.
Out. Growler in the face.
Growler.
Ah!
Wow, I think that is the place that we finish on that noise alone. I think that's the place where we finish.
There we go, gang. There we go.
Another episode in the bag. As always, thank you to everyone who is listening. Remember, there's loads of ways you can get in touch with Ange and I. You can find us on Instagram. I'm at Ruth_Corden. She's at Ange Corden.
You can find the podcast on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search Finding the Funny Podcast.
Or you can send us an email, findingthefunnypodcast@gmail.com. But Ange and I will be back next week helping you to find more of the funny.